You're watching GVTV News.
Thanks, Mark, and I'm Randy Hansen. In today's World News headlines, Texas gunman kills 2 and 3rd major U.S. shooting in under a month. And Obama chides Ryan on farm aid in Iowa with a gaffe. And Paul Ryan heckled at Iowa State Fair. And Romney says Obama running dishonest campaign. And Syrian rebels claim downing of Syrian jet, and UN monitors say both sides causing civilian deaths in Syria. And ExxonMobil oil spill hits Niger Delta. And U.S. sanctions could hinder earthquake aid to Iran. And Ecuador to reveal decisions on Julian Assange's asylum bid this week. And soldiers get 6-month sentence for hazing death of Private Danny Chen. Well, another soldier. I think this was the last one. Mexican activists kick off U.S. caravan calling for end of drug war. And DNC to transfer money from Bank of America to union-owned Amalgamated Bank. Yeah, whatever. Houston janitors end strike with deal to raise wages. And Nobel laureates condemn NBC's new military-themed reality show. GVTV News is broadcast on Grass Valley Television Division of Rural Counties Television Network, whose focus is on community involvement. We also air on NCTV, but before these stories, GVTV News would like to thank one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. In today's first world news story, a shooting in College Station, Texas, near Texas A&M University on Monday has left 3 people dead, including the gunman, and wounded 4 others, at least one of them seriously. The shooter, 35-year-old Thomas Kafal, reportedly attacked a constable who had come to his home to serve him with an eviction notice, killing him as well as a bystander before being shot dead by police. Shooter's mother, Linda Weaver, has said she had been worried about her son, who was having mental health difficulties. Tragedy marks the 3rd major shooting in the United States in less than a month, pushing gun control advocates to demand action. On Monday, the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence released a letter urging presidential debate moderator Jim Lehrer to ask President Obama and Republican candidate Mitt Romney to present plans to address gun violence. Letter notes more than 32 people have been murdered with guns every day in the United States. President Obama hit the campaign trail on Monday with a swing through Iowa, unveiling a $170 million measure to address the ongoing drought. Obama called newly minted Republican vice presidential candidate Paul Ryan a leading congressional opponent of aid to struggling farmers. He said, "I am told that Governor Romney's new running mate, Paul Ryan, might be around Iowa the next few days. He is one of the leaders of Congress standing in the way. So if you happen to see Congressman Ryan, tell him how important this farm bill is to Iowa and our rural communities. We've got to put politics aside when it comes to doing the right thing for rural America and for Iowa." Trouble is that this bill was passed 2 weeks ago by the Republicans. Paul Ryan also campaigned in Iowa on Monday in his solo campaign debut as Mitt Romney's running mate. Speaking in Iowa State Fair, Ryan was heckled by demonstrators who told him to stop the war on the middle class. And Ryan said, "I think it's become so, you know what, it's funny. It's funny because Lowens and Wisconsinites who like to be respectful of one another and peaceful with one another and listen to each other, these ladies must not be from Iowa or Wisconsin." Ryan was speaking on the same stage with Mitt Romney and famously told a group of hecklers that corporations are people 1 year ago. Mitt Romney campaigned in a key battleground state of Florida, where he accused President Obama of running a dishonest campaign. Mitt Romney said, and so with a record which has been as disappointing as the record that he has demonstrated over the last 4 years, President's campaign has resorted to very unusual tactic. It's smear, it's dirt, it's distortion, it's deception, it's dishonestly. It diminishes the office of the presidency itself. The kind of campaign we're going to wage is one that talks about how we can keep America strong, create more jobs, balance our budget, put Americans into homes that they can afford. Syrian rebels are claiming to have shot down a Syrian military aircraft for the first time. Amateur video released Monday appears to show the captured pilot of a Syrian fighter jet apparently downed near the Syria-Iraq border. Syrian state media has rejected the rebels' claims, saying the plane crashed due to technical problems. United Nations humanitarian chief Valerie Amos is visiting Syria for talks on delivering aid to areas besieged by ongoing fighting. On Monday, the head of the UN supervision mission in Syria, Babacar Gaye, said that attacks from both sides of the Syrian conflict were causing a major civilian toll. And he also said it is clear that violence is increasing in many of these parts of Syria. The indiscriminate use of heavy weapons by the government and targeted attacks by the opposition in urban centers are inflicting a heavy toll on innocent civilians. None of the parties have prioritized the need of civilians. And the oil giant ExxonMobil has acknowledged a new oil spill off the coast of southern Nigeria. Residents of Akwa Ibom state have reported seeing oil deposits massing along the coastline. Exxon says the size of the leak remains unclear. Akwa Ibom is part of the Niger Delta region, which, as the UN reported 1 year ago, said it already needs 30 years and around $1 billion to at least partially recover the environmental damage caused by major oil companies. Iranian American advocacy groups are raising concerns on harsh U.S. sanctions on Iran will greatly hinder the international donations for victims of this weekend's double earthquakes. More than 300 people were killed and thousands more wounded when the earthquake struck northeast Iran on Saturday. On Monday, the National Iranian American Council issued a statement warning the severe U.S. measures against Iran raises serious concerns that humanitarian relief will be hindered. A U.S. ban on financial transactions to the Iran has left donors with the sole option of hoping family remittances are passed on to victims or aid groups inside Iran. The Iranian government is facing heavy criticism for its response to the earthquake. Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has gone ahead with overseas trip instead of visiting the affected area, most of which remains without electricity and running water. And Ecuadorian President Rafael Correa has announced his government will likely reveal this week's whether it plans to grant WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange political asylum. Assange has taken refuge in the Ecuadorian embassy in London in a bid to avoid extradition to Sweden and ultimately, he says, to the United States. On Monday, Correa said a decision is pending after heavy deliberation. He also said, I've read reports that say, why are we taking so long? The process has to be revised. The position of the United States must be looked at, and there will be a secret tribunal over there that there could be the death penalty. This requires a great amount of information, and we have analyzed international law in order to take an informed decision that is completely responsible and obviously a sovereign decision. Second of 8 U.S. soldiers court-martialed in the death of Army Private Danny Chen has reached a plea deal that will see him discharged and spend 6 months behind bars. A 19-year-old Chinese-American Chen allegedly took his own life just weeks after he was deployed to Afghanistan last October. His family says Chen had been abused by comrades on an almost daily basis, including racist hazing, with soldiers throwing rocks at him, calling him ethnic slurs, forcing him to do push-ups or hang upside down with his mouth full of water. On Tuesday, Specialist Ryan Offutt pleaded guilty to maltreatment and hazing in return for evading the more serious charges of negligent homicide. He was sentenced to 6 months in confinement and will be discharged from military for bad conduct. Reacting to the sentence, Elizabeth Ouyang of the civil rights group OCA New York says Offutt's punishment could send a message to prevent future hazing. She said, this sentence will not bring back Danny Chen. Danny's life was cut short at age of 19, but this sentence, as the verdict can do, is send a loud message to superiors that they will be punished and punished severely, including discharge from the military, if they engage in similar types of misconduct. And a peace caravan led by Mexican activists kicked off a month-long cross-country journey in Los Angeles on Monday to call for the end of the U.S.-backed drug war. Caravan for Peace is organized by Mexican poet-turned-activist Javier Cecilia, whose son was killed by drug traffickers last year. Cecilia said, "As a poet, I've always said that the poets are the voice of the tribe, and what I've done and what I think is important is to give voice to many of the forgotten, many of the victims. And though the voice we've been able to put in the center of the consciousness of the country and political consciousness, the people who are victims of this war, a necessity for justice, the need for a justice and to create peace." Los Angeles was the first of around 20 stops for the peace caravan in its journey across the United States. The Democratic National Committee has announced plans to transfer its bank activities from the bailed-out financial giant, Bank of America, to the union-owned Amalgamated Bank. The DNC was working with Bank of America for years, but said to be making the switch as part of an effort to reduce ties to Wall Street. President Obama's re-election campaign continues to use Bank of America, and the firm is helping cover the cost of hosting the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte, North Carolina next month. So I guess they're not doing a very good job of separation. Janitors in Houston have ended up more than a month-long strike with agreement on a new labor contract to increase their pay. Strike began July after workers making $8.35 an hour said they faced harassment and intimidation when they rejected an offer that would have raised their pay by 50 cents an hour over 5 years. Service Employees International Union says the janitors have ratified a new contract that will raise their hourly wage by $1 over 4 years. And 9 Nobel Peace Prize laureates are voicing opposition to NBC's new military-themed TV show, Stars Earn Stripes. Seeing it glorifies war and violence program has been advertised during the Olympics and premiered Monday, has a cast list ranging from Sarah Palin's husband, Todd Palin, to Olympic skier gold medalist Picabo Street. Celebrities are paired with former members of the armed service to go through military-style training, including shooting weapons. The show was billed as a way to honor veterans, but in a protest letter, Archbishop Desmond Tutu and other laureates say the show pays homage to no one anywhere and continues to expand our inglorious tradition of glorified war and armed violence. Prepared for war is neither amusing nor entertaining, they wrote on Monday. A group of demonstrators rallied outside NBC's New York headquarters to demand the program's cancellation. Melissa Corbett said these types of game shows are definitely used as tools for recruitment. I mean, military spends millions of dollars trying to recruit young men into service, young men and women into service, and I think these kinds of shows make it look so much fun and interesting. It makes people want to go out there and do it. Anna Berlin Rutt said, "My son is a real hero, I'm sorry, couldn't read that right. He was in a real war and lost some of his limbs and his sanity." And that's it for today for our World News.
Soundcheck Music Center, the Rock and Roll Connection. We have guitars, amps, drum equipment, sound accessories, lessons, and repairs. We are located at 671 Maltman Drive, Grass Valley. 530-272-7236, open 7 days a week.
No one needs anyone, they don't even just pretend. Jonah's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't.
That's right, it's time for the police blotter. Pictures in the blotter not from these actual events, but used for visual aid only. These public records are obtained from daily logs issued from Nevada County Law Enforcement. Grass Valley Police Department on Sunday, 9:24 a.m. A report was taken from 500 block East Main Street of burglaries last night, or a burglary. 3:58 p.m. a report was taken in Memorial Park of a person yelling racial slurs. Person was removed from the park for 24 hours. And 4:44 p.m. a report was taken in North Star and Bennett Streets of a person stole items from a transient camp. Man was arrested on suspicion of being drunk in public. At 6:02 p.m. a woman was cited on suspicion of shoplifting in 100 block of West McKnight Way. And 6:08 p.m. a report was taken from 300 block of Pleasant Street of a crazy lady broke into a car and was getting into other vehicles. She was given a ride home. At 10:48 p.m., a man from the 100 block of West McNaught Way reported his brother assaulted him. One of the brothers reported that the original reporting party assaulted him with a knife. A report was taken. And on Monday at 12:42 a.m., a report was taken on 200 block of Sutton Way of a person possibly unresponsive on the ground. Two juveniles were lying on a blanket looking at the stars, or under it. They were okay. And Nevada County Sheriff's Office on Sunday, 11:33 a.m., a report was taken from Swallow Way of a juvenile who did not return home from the fair last night. Be on the lookout. Advisory was issued. The juvenile was located. At 12:27 p.m., a report was taken from Edwards Crossing of a missing 7-year-old woman. Search and rescue units were to be started. The woman was located with an ankle injury. At 2:14 p.m., several callers from Highway 20 and Harmony Ridge reported a mobile home pulling a horse trailer on fire. And 3:11 p.m., a woman from Black Sands Mines Road reported an assault. 6:50 p.m., a woman reported people fighting over car keys. Her mother called back and reported she was drunk and tearing up plants. At 3:53 p.m., a report was taken from Carr Lake of 2 missing teen girls who were located. And 5 p.m., a report was taken from the fairgrounds of a person who was harassing children. The person was developmentally disabled and was being picked up by parents. At 5:52 p.m., a woman from Leisure Lane reported her dog brought home a large bags of drugs from a neighbor's house. At 6:49 p.m., several callers from Highway 49 and Alta Sierra Drive reported a tree in the road. At 7:43 p.m., a man from Pinnacle Lane reported his girlfriend assaulted him. At 9:05 p.m., a man from 11,000 block of Red Dog Road reported his estranged wife hit him, threatened him, and threw his belongings. 9:06 p.m., a report was taken from 14,000 block of Quaker Hill Road of a residential burglary. 9:31 p.m., multiple callers from 12,000 block of Banalava Road reported multiple gunshots. It was quiet when deputies arrived. At 10:04 p.m., a report was taken from the fairgrounds of juveniles smoking marijuana near the bounce house. An unknown number were cited. 10:36 p.m., a report was taken from the fairgrounds of physical fight. Several were ejected. And 11:19 p.m., a report was taken from the fairgrounds of a large group of juveniles in a possible fight, which was found to be a verbal dispute only. And on Monday, 12:02 a.m., a report was taken from the fairgrounds of a person possibly under the influence of a controlled substance. Suspect was a carnival worker who fled on foot. Cute little gavels, aren't they? Nevada City Police Department on Sunday, 8:33 a.m. A report was taken 300 block of Clay Street that tires had been slashed during the night. And at 9:20 a.m., a report was taken from the 800 block of Lindley Avenue, a small grass fire. And 1:56 p.m., a report was taken from Sacramento and Adams Street of a person breaking into a Jeep. A woman was arrested on suspicion of being under the influence of a controlled substance. It's for you guys, Wayne's World. That's it for Blotter today. Now another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us. GVTV News. Christopher's Old World Deli and Catering Company has brought its delicious food and service downtown Grass Valley. Like desserts? They got them. You like international style lunches? They got them. Christopher's Deli and Catering for parties, get-togethers, weddings, or whatever. Open 7 days a week. In today's local news headlines, murder trial begins over fatal marijuana deal. And dozens arrested in crackdown on California gang. And territorial dispatch going deeper into Nevada County, and significant fire potential daily lightning through the end of the week. In our first story, according to the story out of the Sacramento Bee, the prosecutors and defense attorneys delivered opening statements on the murder trial of Andre Powell, the last remaining defendant in January 26, 2010 shooting death of Sean West in Jack in the Box parking lot in Stockton Boulevard. Deputy District Attorney Charles Gonzalez told the Sacramento Superior Court jury that Powell, who is now 23, shot West, 26, in the chest during a marijuana deal ripoff. Powell was one of the 3 men originally charged in the case. One former co-defendant, Court Parnell Milgram, 24, pleaded guilty to a murder charge July 24th. Second alleged participant, Joel Satchwell, 22, entered a no-contest plea earlier last year, reduced charge of voluntary manslaughter. Satchwell is scheduled to testify during the trial that is expected to last 2 weeks. They got no money, Gonzalez said. Of the three, they got no marijuana. They just left a dead body. Defense attorney Dion Choice agreed that Powell shot and killed West, but the lawyer said the case was neither a robbery nor a murder. He said the shooting resulted from a drug deal gone bad, and Powell fired on West in self-defense. Choice told jurors that West charged Powell just before the shooting, and his client believed that the victim's brother, who accompanied West to the parking lot on Stockton Boulevard at Isles Avenue, was armed. Anaheim, California. A story: federal agents and police targeted a violent street gang swept through Southern California's neighborhoods Friday, where earlier police killings sparked violent protests. Federal, state, and local agents raided 54 locations in Anaheim and Los Angeles County, arresting 33 people to cap a year-long investigation in the East Side Anaheim gang. Police Sergeant Bob Dunn said another 20 to 25 people were already in custody and several more are still being sought. He added some of the raids concentrated on a poor, mainly Latino neighborhood known as the Anna Drive, which there have been a recent rise in gang activities. That is the neighborhood where the police shot and killed Manuel Diaz, a reputed gang member, who was unarmed July 21st. The next night, police shot and killed suspected gang member Joel Acevedo, where he reportedly shot at an officer. The killing prompted 4 days of violence, demonstrators, and $50 million of wrongful death lawsuits by Diaz's family. Mugshots of some of the reputed suspects were displayed in the news conference on Friday, one named Manuel Diaz, but police declined to say whether it was the same Diaz that was shot. Raids that were not related to the shootings, and authorities even considered delaying them to avoid appearance, Police Chief John Wetler said. He said, "We didn't want to be seen as coming now and arresting a bunch of community members and having people misunderstand or again spread rumors of false information of what we were doing. We need to regain some of the trust that has been lost as a result of some of these actions on the street by protesters. The gang is suspected of drug dealing and murder, and those facing federal or state drug and weapon charges would face up to 10 years in prison if convicted." Televised reports showed the line of men from the shirtless sitting on the curb to their hands bound behind their backs. During a year-long investigation dubbed Operation Halo, authorities have seized 11 pounds of crystal methamphetamine, 40 guns, including assault rifles, style rifles, sawed-off shotguns, and pistols believed used in killings, authorities said. Probably came from Fast and Furious. The investigation was prompted by 2011 stabbing death of a 12-year-old member of a graffiti tag crew that is considered the feeder for the street gang, Dunn said. Prosecutors say Juan Martinez was walking home from school when he was stabbed during a fight with a member of a rival tagging crew. Brian Ocampo is charged with the murder. Violent crimes in Anaheim, home of Disneyland and Angels baseball team, jumped 10% last year, and the number of murders nearly doubled, according to FBI crime statistics. In a story from our favorite blogger and forum, Sierra Foothills Reports, with Jeff Pelline, it seems that there is another competitor for news in our county, and we welcome them. The Union and the Nevada City Advocate could find stiffer competition with the Free Tutorial Dispatch newspaper moving deeper into Nevada County, providing Nevada County news. There's a mention of it at M3 Mall's Facebook page. Tomorrow's Tutorial Dispatch newspaper is going on stands now. Copies already available at M3 Mall and soon another 80 locations in Nevada County. You may view the entire paper online at eterritorial.com. The photo has highlights of a benefit hosted by GV Downtown announcing the BAM project for Business of Women of Faith Nevada County Tapestry gatherings, and Thursday with and some Christian Encounter Ministries. M3 Mall is a proud member of the BAM project, which the members are recognized. This week, Peggy Delgado, Vava, founder of the Bridge Network, Melissa Missler, our favorite roving reporter, does a great job at M3 Mall. We pictured her here. August 14th, 2012. Southerly to southeast flow over the North Ops, so when we're talking about weather now, some overnight storms may occur as well, although the thunderstorms will generally become increasingly moist as the week progresses. Let's hope we get some water. Fuels are so dry that any lightning is likely to start new fires. Thursday could be at least active day for thunderstorms. Very hot, dry conditions will continue through the end of the week, although a gradual cooling trend is expected after, well, Thursday, I think this is Tuesday. Warmest inland areas will still be around 108 to 114 overnight. The marine layers will be somewhat deeper over the next few days and become even deeper over the weekend. Over the weekend, the weather pattern will change significantly with a low pressure trough off the coast moving ashore with much cooler air and a chance of fairly wet showers, thunderstorms, ooh, that sounds good, on the northern and eastern areas Saturday. That's it for our local news today. We'd like to thank Amy Goodwin, Reuters, Associated Press, Ubinet, Sierra Foothills Report, the Union, local law enforcement, and others for the source of our news, and you for watching. Remember that we are the only visual video news media in Nevada County, and we are free for you to watch 7 days a week. If you have local stories and would like to have them aired on our news, please email us with a limit of 750 words on your story and add a few pictures with it. JPEGs are the best. GrassValleyTelevision@gmail.com. That's where you email it, and include some type of contact information for verification of facts. You can watch this broadcast, Comcast Cable, NCTV, Channel 11, Nevada County, 8 a.m., 3 p.m., 7:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Saturday, and 8 p.m. Sunday. Suddenlink 16 in Truckee and Alta Sierra, same times. We also are streamed on internet at NCTV's Digital Media Center website, NevadaCountyTV.org and GVTV.org. And don't forget Grass Valley Television that plays 24/7 on the net with other programming, GrassValleyTelevision.com. We post to Facebook, YouTube, Blip.tv, and many other podcast sites and other sites, and have RSS feed and video podcast on iTunes. Just search under Video Podcast for GVTV News. Grass Valley Television also videotapes local events around Nevada County. If you have a need for video, you can contact us for more info. GrassValleyTelevision@gmail.com or 530-362-8889. Grass Valley Television of Rural Counties Television Network is here. We hope you will keep tuned to our new season, as we're going to spice it up in the future. Now we have Juan, the roving reporter, out there doing some good new things. Please email us with ideas and comments, and like us on Facebook if you can. And if you want to embed our player, you can. Just get the embed code from the player on our site, gvtv.org. Due to the lack of underwriters, we will be doing 3 shows a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday editions. We should expand when we get more community support, or we expand our station. Grass Valley Television works hard to bring you news and entertainment from around the world and local content you do not get on mainstream media. We want to expand and improve what you see, and we need your help. If you support this program and want exposure for your business, then this is a win-win situation. Underwriting is important for us. For information, just email us, grassvalleytelevision@gmail.com.